Hello, and thank you for tuning in to my Week 13 Lab 4 experiment for Anatomy and Physiology 1 BIO250. I am Leah Kierskio, and I will be dissecting a sheep's brain. To begin my experiment, I started with all the tools necessary to perform this experiment. This included the actual brain of the sheep and my instruments necessary to cut and dissect. Also, safety goggles and gloves were vital. I'll begin my experiment with discussing the sheep's brain in size, which is actually really small compared to the human brain and has 3 general regions. The human brain is definitely much larger and rounder, while the sheep's brain is elongated toward the posterior. While in humans, the brainstem and cerebellum show to be more inferior, and this is due to the shape of the human spine. The superior view of the brain shows a clear view of the cerebrum, as shown here on the surface. There are obvious ridges which are like grooves, both shallow and elevated, and we like to call these the hills and valleys, which are located on the cerebral cortex and called gyri. These are the actual hills that are elevated. If it were just one hill, it'd be gyrus. In plural, we call this gyri. Now the valleys are the sulci. This is plural, which are the grooves, and the valleys, which are situated more inward. If it were just one valley, we would call this sulcus. Like the human brain, the sheep's brain is also separated into lobes. The first lobe is considered the frontal, which is part of the frontal region, which helps planning and higher level thinking. The middle region, which is called the parietal region, helps with spatial memory, sensory processing, and also more like a GPS system. In the back, located near the occipital, is the occipital lobe, more like eyes in the back of your head, so to speak. The cerebrum is separated into a much deeper groove called the great longitudinal fissure, shown right here down the middle. The cerebrum and cerebellum are also separated by a fissure called transverse fissure. We now begin with trying to see the major structures of the sheep's brain prior to actually cutting it open. The sheep's brain has three major regions, which include the cerebrum, as we spoke about, is separated into a right and left cerebral hemisphere, the cerebellum, and the brainstem, which is also known as the spinal cord. We are now able to easily locate the midbrain region, just beside the pons. Moving over just a bit toward the end of the cerebellum, this can help us locate the medulla oblongata. This is situated just before the spinal cord. The cerebellum is located just before the brainstem or spinal cord, inside of the cerebellum with a branch-like structure called arbor vitae, and vermis, which looks like worm-like structures. The cerebellum also has a left and right hemisphere, just like the cerebrum. Which brings me to discuss the small brain. Throughout my video, you'll notice light and dark areas, which are better known as gray matter or white matter, and also showing the tree of life. As I continued dissecting my sheep's brain and bending at the cerebellum, I noticed a few more parts within the mesocephalon, and two bulges that stuck out to me really clearly were the cerebral peduncle and superior colliculus. Inferior colliculus, all three make up the corporal quadramina, easiest to see from the superior view. Now moving right along to the actual dissection of my sheep's brain, I was able to use a mid-sagittal sectional. Using my tray and scalpel, I carefully was able to cut open the sheep's brain to see the interior view in much greater detail. Using a gentle motion downward, I noticed there was no actual real connection to the two hemispheres. Upon cutting, I noticed a bundle. This was the actual white matter of the corpus callosum. Looking at the inside structures, the loop around is called the corpus callosum, which functions to connect the right and left cerebral hemispheres. This allows them to better communicate to one another. Just near the lateral ventricle is like a room, and a ceiling of the ventricle is the corpus callosum. I like to think of the fornix as the actual floor and the septum pellucidum as the curtain. Just below the fornix is the round egg-like shaped structure. This is known as the thalamus. Just beneath it, with a slightly different color and sort of a circular shape. The thalamus is the main relay center for motor and sensory information, and the hypothalamus is just beneath that, under the thalamus, hence the name hypo. This controls the internal thermostat of the sheep's body, hunger, thirst, fight or flight, and responses also to mating behaviors. The hypothalamus is most important autonomic nervous center. This is part of the optic chiasm, which also helps memory and sense of direction. Moving right along to discuss the diencephalon, which is the central core of the brain that you cannot see without actually cutting the brain open. This too has 3 parts, consisting of the thalamus, epithalamus, and hypothalamus. Just above the thalamus is a thin layer of epithalamus which houses a very important endocrine gland called the pineal gland. This gland makes the hormone melatonin that regulates the sheep's sleep cycles. Moving right along to the pineal body, I was able to locate the superior colliculus. This gives reflexes to light. And just beneath that was the inferior colliculus, which gives reflexes to sound. Both help the sheep to respond to danger quickly. The cranial nerve 1 is quite large in animals more so than humans. This is also known as the olfactory nerve. This helps the sheep process their sense of smell. This is much bigger in animals than humans, and this is because animals' sense of smell is way more developed than in human beings. Thank you so much for tuning in to my Week 13 Lab 4 for BIO250. It's been a great learning experience. I wish everyone the best.